Shell-shocked workers at Petroineos in Grangemouth leaving the plant this afternoon, following the announcement that the oil refinery is to close next year with a loss of 400 jobs. Some were remaining tight-lipped.
Sorry, I'm not really willing to comment. I've been spending all day talking about it, so I'd rather not.
What do you think of it?
I don't really have anything to say, thanks very much.
No thanks.
Others were left speechless.
Thoughts on the news today? Any thoughts at all? Have you been told to not speak? Well, Frank Debay, the company's Chief Executive Officer, has released a statement. He says demand for key fuels we produce at Grangemouth has already started to decline. And with the ban on new petrol and diesel cars coming into force within the next decade, we foresee that the market for those fuels will shrink even further. He goes on to say that reality, aligned with the cost of maintaining a refinery built half a century ago, means we're exploring ways to adapt our business.
Well, it's extremely disappointing, and we are really not happy the way the announcement's been handled. I think it's a devastating blow to the local community and the workers across Grangemouth.
I mean, obviously, presumably there was a chance that these jobs would be saved. It doesn't look that way now, and it looks like next summer 400 workers in this area get out of work.
Yeah, well, it's not just 400 workers, it's those in the supply chain who also service the refinery. Plus there's another announcement today which has kind of went under the radar, which is the closure of the Falkirk pipeline, which is another 20 jobs. But it's also going to affect the local businesses, the local hotels, the local bars, where everybody's here. So yes, we were hoping that the UK and the Scottish Government would help and bridge the gap between the refinery closing and new technologies coming online in Grangemouth, but they failed to step up to the plate.
I mean, one of the comments that got me today was the comment here from Petroineos themselves. Business as usual. I'm sure a lot of people took umbrage to that.
Absolutely, the workforce took umbrage to that. Today they basically decimated a lot of people's lives. A lot of people from the community grown up here, their mothers, their fathers all worked in the refinery, tight-knit community. So say things are business as usual, I think is quite disrespectful to the workforce.
Now, the Scottish Government have come out, they've made a statement. They say that along with the UK Government, they're going to try and do the best they can to try and impact on the situation. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm meeting the Cabinet Secretaries today at 2 o'clock, and I'll be saying to them quite clearly they haven't done enough. They need to step up to the plate quicker than what they've been doing just now, and they have to give some hope and some guarantees to this workforce and this community that there will be jobs here for the future, well-paid jobs and ones that support the community.
I mean, this is the main problem, as you touched on earlier on. This is an area that really relies on people having jobs in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole town is based around the refinery. As I said earlier, we've got the shops, the people, all that kind of stuff. So this, it amounts to a piece of industrial vandalism on one of the industrial hubs of Scotland. And again, we're seeing no government support. We've got the oil and gas workers under threat just now as well. We really need the UK and the Scottish governments to start to put their money where their mouth is.
What about workers here? Have you spoken to them? Will you be speaking to them?
I have been speaking with my reps today who've been in with management. I've met some of the workforce today. We'll be arranging meetings with these workforce. So now is the time for us to start discussing with the workers what they want to do next. And that's going to be us consulting with the employer around any redundancies and making sure where people want to remain in employment there is good, well-paid jobs for them in Grangemouth.
The Scottish Government says they'll work closely with the UK Government to deliver an investment plan that would help to secure an industrial future for the site. This will see £100 million of funding to support local energy projects and examining options via a feasibility study called Project Willow to build a new long-term industry at the refinery site.
Well, we are very disappointed at the decision by Petroineos after extensive discussion between ourselves and the Scottish Government and the UK Government to look at a future. We have been engaging with workers, with unions and with the businesses that will be affected by that, collaborating with the UK Government to do that. And we've also put in place a package of support in terms of the skills, as well as working with the UK Government around future employment prospects. So this is obviously a live issue predicated on the market fundamentals. That's the reason that Petroineos have made the decision that they have. But we will work very closely with unions and the UK Government to support the workers as much as possible.
But it's believed even if those plans are viable, they would not come in time to save the jobs which will be lost in June next year.